security, create economic opportunities for women and men, and build strong, resilient communities and local institutions that will continue to support better futures for all. I'm not sure, there wasn't a lot of people here right at 8 o'clock, but I will mention this really cool thing that's happening here today. An anonymous Calgary donor has offered to match all donations made here in this VIP area up to $50,000. So this means, it's amazing. So this means any donation that you make here at this breakfast area during this time will go even further. And please take advantage of the generous matches today. Right now we're at $5,000 here in this area. So we need to get that up. We need to max it. So let's try to get up to $25,000. Let's try to get that donor to match that amount, right? He's anonymous, so we don't know who he is, but he is here. And of course, let's not forget about the silent auction. So just right when you walked in, this table right there has a bunch of gifts there, and the items include a spa package from Mediderm Spa, so that value is around $300. Calgary Lightning Products gift package, including Mercado gift certificate, that's at $200, that's a value there. The Flames jersey, it's signed by Sean Monahan, that's a value of $500, or priceless if you're a Flames fan. And then 2 WestJet tickets to go anywhere in North America, so that's valued at $2,400. So please help with this foundation, and thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us continue to be Canada's largest public movement for dedicated to fighting poverty. I would now like to invite our World Partnership Walk Chair, Riaz Varani, to say a few words, and I will move my step stool so he doesn't trip. So here, Riaz, please join us.
Thank you, Malika. I thought if I stood on those things, I would look freakishly tall, so I didn't want to do that. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the World Partnership Walk. My name is Riaz Varani, as she mentioned, and I'm truly honored to have served as this year's Partnership Walk Chair for Calgary. Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for choosing this special Father's Day with us for this amazing cause. So I'd like to first begin by acknowledging that the land that we are gathered on is Treaty 7 territory, and the traditional territories of the Niitsitapi, Blackfoot, the Nakota, Stoney, and the Tsuut'ina. So I also want to acknowledge some of our special guests that are here today. The Honorable Sandra Jensen, Minister for Infrastructure, she's over there. Big hand. We have MLA Calgary Mountain View, Dr. David Swan, right there. Our other special guest will be joining us later. The Honorable Irfan Sabir, Minister for Community and Social Services, will be joining us later, as well as the Liberal leader of the Liberal Party of Alberta, David Khan, and of course, he's here. Welcome, great, wonderful. And of course, his Worship Mayor Nenchi will be joining us later to formally open the walk for us. And then we have Fauzia Lalani Kotabak, President of the Ismaili Council for the Prairies. And then we have Saifa Kuder, who is a member of the National Committee of the Aga Khan Foundation Canada, right there. Welcome. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to support us in this effort. Your presence here today is a testament to the importance of the work we're doing here in Canada. Work that is transforming millions of lives across Africa and Asia. I'm delighted to have all of you here to help kick off the 2018 World Partnership Walk. As some of you already know, the World Partnership Walk is Canada's single largest fundraiser for global poverty alleviation. Tens of thousands of volunteers from across the country unite in the belief that we can create a better world together. And all these volunteers and all the Canadians who have stepped up to raise money and spark the dialogue about Canada's role in global development, all those who believe that we can create a better world together, and they're right. After 34 years and $100 million raised, they're absolutely right. We are making a difference in people's lives. The funds that we raise through World Partnership Walk help unlock the potential around the world. By being here today, we're unlocking the potential of millions of individuals to lead lasting change in their community. I'm so proud to support this inspiring work, and I'm grateful to all of you here to join to build a more peaceful, prosperous, and equal world together. So this morning, you'll have the chance to mix and mingle with some of our most passionate supporters. Ask them why they participate in the walk. They know the impact of Aga Khan Foundation's work. Some of the individuals here have had the opportunity to visit the projects in Africa and Asia and meet the remarkable local women and men who are driving change in their communities. And today you can learn more about your contribution to global development by speaking to our volunteers, standing near those panels that you'll see on the walk route around the walk site, or you can of course visit our website on worldpartnershipwalk.com. I'm so thankful and grateful to have you all here today. I am humbled by the support and motivation that I see around the room. Please enjoy the great company in the room. I hope you've had a chance to enjoy the food as well. And in a few minutes, once the formal ceremonies are done here, we'll invite you all to go up to the main stage where we'll have the formal walk official opening ceremony. I guess without further ado, it's now my distinct pleasure to introduce you to our guest speaker. So, our guest speaker is Constance Shumba. He's a global advisor for health, and she's a professor at the Aga Khan Foundation Canada, as well as the Aga Khan University in Karachi. She provides strategic advice and support for AKF's global health and nutrition portfolio, with a particular focus on Africa. Connie, as she's known affectionately, has experience leading and supporting health programs across sub-Saharan Africa with the Malaria Consortium and other prominent organizations. Now, when I was reading a resume, this is very impressive. So Connie holds a master's degree in international health and a doctorate in international health from Queen Margaret University, a Doctor of Literature and Philosophy in Health Studies from the University of South Africa, and a bachelor's degree in science from the University of Zimbabwe. I was exhausted just reading it. She flew in yesterday. Thank you. She flew in yesterday from Kenya, and I know she's glad to be here. We're looking forward to listening to her inspiring words and hearing her inspiring stories. Please join me in giving a very warm Calgary welcome to Professor Constance Shumba. Connie.
Was that me he was talking about? I feel like it's a different person altogether. Thank you so much for having me. You know, you can see my smile. It's not going anywhere soon. I was a bit nervous, you know, when I was told that I was going to be coming here and speaking, but having been here this morning and just feeling the warmth, you know, talking to different people, I just feel so energized, so enthused, so inspired, you know, just to see so many people who support our work globally. And today I'm going to be giving you snippets of some of the work that I do in the field so that you can also be inspired and you can know where some of the support, the money you're giving, what it's being used for in the field. So thank you very much for having me today. I think he's already said so much about me, you know, but I prefer to be called Connie. I'm originally from Zimbabwe, currently based in Nairobi, and I work with the Aga Khan Foundation Geneva team as a global advisor for health and nutrition. Prior to joining AKF, I worked in various global health roles in Africa and Southeast Asia. In my current role, I provide strategic advice and support for AKF's health and nutrition portfolio with a focus on Africa and sometimes also Asia, depending on the area of expertise. And if I should say anything, I'm more of a health system strengthening specialist. So I have expertise in supporting governments to deliver services that respond to the healthcare needs of their populations. And I've been doing that for the last 15 years. I share my passion for development with all of you. And yeah, I'll tell you a bit about what makes me tick, or if it all I do. I hope you're going to enjoy seeing some of their work showcased today here at the World Partnership Walk. I have a few minutes, but I must warn you that as Africans, we are storytellers. You know? So if I take the whole day, forgive me, but I won't do that. And at this point, I think some of you may be asking yourselves, why do I do what I do? You know, and my answer is simple. It could have been me sitting on the other side of the development discourse. It truly could have been me. I could have been that beneficiary, the person that you're fundraising for today, you know. I have relatives living in some of the areas where we have programs. For instance, I'm married in Uganda, West Nile region specifically, where you also support our programs. And so my husband's relatives all live there. My mom's half Mozambican, so the work we support in Mozambique is helping her relatives as well, my relatives. In many of the rural areas where we work, I see myself and my world in those people that we serve. So for me, it's not just a job, it's a passion. I'm serving my people as I do this work. When I was young, I remember that, the bus used to pass close to my village 3 times a week. There was a bus only 3 times a week. So if you needed to go anywhere, you needed to organize yourself, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, And I used to walk 5 kilometers to get to the bus station. And would get there at 4 a.m. after walking about, maybe 2 hours just to get there because we'd go through the woods. And this was due to the poor infrastructure. And it was even worse when I had to, go to the hospital because I was sick with tonsillitis or had malaria as a young child. Then I would have to walk even further, 15 kilometers to get to the nearest health facility. And when I look at the communities we serve, the narrative is similar. It's a similar narrative. I was in Mozambique and I saw facilities 50 kilometers away from the communities. And I asked myself, what do these people do when they fall sick? What do women do when they go into labor? Do they walk 50 kilometers? And yes, I bet you they do, if they can manage that. Or sometimes they end up delivering at home with very poor outcomes. So today I have good exposure to the world, and I believe I now understand how connected the world is. But when I was growing up, the world was my village, the hospital, the bus, and the school, So I had a very narrow view of the world. But coming here to Calgary today, seeing, all this diversity, all these people, it's overwhelming, seeing all these high-rising buildings. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. And my worldview has really changed. But with limited infrastructure, all you know is the bus 3 times a week, the village school, the hospital. And now as a health systems expert, we talk a lot about the global health agenda and achieving universal health coverage, which means leaving no one behind. And as I reflect on my work as a practitioner, I'm constantly reminded of myself as a 5-year-old in my village and walking long distances to the facility to get treatment. And I say to myself, when all is said and done, what a 5-year-old needs is treatment. It's treatment for malaria, it's treatment for pneumonia, it's treatment for malnutrition. So my passion as a global advisor for health and nutrition with AKF is that we really make it work for those that really need, who have the greatest need. And my hope is that, if I can get to a facility, I can be well, and that's what a 5-year-old in a village somewhere is thinking. If I can get to a health facility, I will be well. And what does it take to be well? It takes a competent health workforce. It takes an engaged community that trusts the health system. It takes access to essential medicines. It takes infrastructure and equipment. And this is what I see AKDN doing in the countries where we work. And so I'm really proud to be associated with that work. We are really making a difference in the lives of those that truly need that. So in terms of my own career trajectory, I received educational support from the European Commission and the Scottish government, after completing my first degree. I wouldn't have been able to afford to go to Scotland at any cost, But when I look at what the Scottish government did for me, the European Commission did for me, I really see myself having been lifted out of poverty. And now when I look at my daughter, when I look at other children, I see people who have a chance to have a better life than myself because someone believed in me, someone invested in me. And I personally support over 30 people directly, with at least 20 of them receiving some kind of educational support or medical and health support from me. And I say to myself, I'm contributing in my own way to the Sustainable Development Goals, as most of you who are here today are also doing through supporting the work of AKFC. And so as we're doing that, we're leaving no one behind by reducing the inequalities. My first trip outside my town was through a girls' empowerment club by the YWCA at my school. And my first trip ever outside Africa was to Toronto. and how exciting that was. You know, getting on a plane for the first time, my folks seeing the plane for the first time, at least from a distance, they did see it, you know, and getting really, really excited. And as I mentioned earlier, when I look at the communities we serve and consider my background, I really have walked in their shoes and continue to do so in my role as a development practitioner. So I don't see myself as being any superior. I see myself as someone who was given an opportunity and was able to use it and had a chance to change my life and the life of those around me. So your support is not in vain. If you've been giving over the years, if you plan to give today, just know that your support is life-changing. It's life-changing. I was in Cabo Delgado province in Mozambique some few months back, and was privileged to meet some of the community health workers that we support as AKF through our programs to strengthen the community systems for health. So we work with these amazing volunteers. They're not paid anything, but they're really passionate about changing the health outcomes of their people. And among them, a woman with a baby strapped on her back stood up and said, "I'm not a community health volunteer, but I've come to tell you something." So I was surprised. I said, "Oh, that's really bold." And then she says, "As soon as our girls' breasts start to come out, they're falling pregnant. We need to do something about this." I was so touched. I was really, really touched. I saw a woman standing up and calling out the problems of her day, you know, and I saw a woman with foresight crying out for the future leaders of tomorrow in her community. She may not be educated, but she has insight into the problems of her community. And as AKF, we are giving that platform for people to come up and co-create solutions with us for their communities.